Anxiety can feel like an unstoppable force, consuming your mind and stealing your peace. But what if I told you that just one thought could dissolve anxiety instantly? In this video, we'll explore an ancient Buddhist wisdom secret that will help you break free from fear, overthinking, and emotional distress. This simple yet powerful shift in perspective can transform the way you handle stress forever. If you're ready to find lasting peace, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications so you never miss life-changing wisdom like this. Chapter 1: The Root of Anxiety, Attachment, and Fear. Anxiety is not something new. It is not unique to modern life, nor is it a flaw in our character. It has been a part of human existence for centuries. But what if I told you that anxiety in its deepest form is simply a result of attachment and fear? Buddhism teaches that suffering arises from tanha, craving, or attachment. We want things to be a certain way. We want security, control, and predictability. But the world does not operate according to our desires. It flows on its own. Imagine holding onto a rope that is being pulled away. The tighter you grip, the more pain you feel. Anxiety works the same way. The more we cling to our expectations, the more fear we create. The Buddha once asked his disciples, "What happens when you place a drop of water on a hot stone?" It evaporates instantly. "And what happens when you place that same drop into a vast ocean?" It merges without resistance. Anxiety is the drop. When our mind is small and grasping, anxiety consumes us. But when we expand our awareness, we allow it to dissolve. To destroy anxiety, we must first understand it. We must recognize its roots: attachment to the future, fear of the unknown, resistance to what is. Once we see this clearly, we take the first step toward liberation. Chapter 2: The Impermanence of All Things. Anxiety thrives on the illusion of permanence. We fear losing what we have and not getting what we want. But Buddhism teaches a simple truth: everything changes, nothing is fixed. No emotion, no situation, no thought lasts forever. Think of a river. The water flows continuously, it never stays the same, yet we try to hold on to life as if it were solid. This clinging creates tension, and that tension fuels anxiety. The Buddha taught the concept of anicca, impermanence. Just as the seasons change, so do our thoughts and worries. No storm lasts forever. No emotion is permanent. A Zen master once told his student, "Hold a handful of sand. If you grip too tightly, it slips through your fingers, but if you keep your hand open, it remains." The same applies to life. When we loosen our grip, anxiety begins to fade. When you feel overwhelmed by fear, remind yourself, this too shall pass. What worries you today may not even matter tomorrow. The waves of life rise and fall, but you are not the waves. You are the ocean. Chapter 3: Observing the Mind, the Power of Awareness. One of the greatest Buddhist teachings is Vipassana, or insight meditation. It teaches us to observe the mind without judgment. Why is this important? Because anxiety grows when we believe every thought we have. Imagine you are sitting by a river watching leaves float by. Each leaf represents a thought. Some leaves carry worries about the future. Others bring regrets about the past. But you are not the leaves, you are the observer. The problem arises when we attach to certain thoughts. We chase them, analyze them, believe them to be real. But in truth, thoughts are just passing events. They only have power when we engage with them. A monk once told his student, "If you let a bird land on your shoulder, it may stay for a moment, but if you feed it, it will return again and again." The same is true with anxious thoughts. If we keep feeding them attention, they will come back stronger. The secret to dissolving anxiety is simple. Observe, but do not engage. Watch your thoughts as you would watch clouds in the sky, passing, changing, fading. The more you practice, the more space you create in your mind, and in that space, peace arises. Chapter 4. The Illusion of Control. Anxiety often comes from the belief that we must control everything. We want to predict the future, prevent pain, and ensure security. But control is an illusion. Consider the wind. Can you grasp it? Can you stop it from blowing? No, you can only adjust your sails. A story is told of a man who built a sandcastle on the beach. Every day he returned to add more details, making it perfect. But each night the waves washed it away. One day he realized that fighting the waves was useless. Instead of resisting, he started enjoying the process of building, knowing it was temporary. From that day on, he found joy instead of frustration. Life is like that sandcastle. We try to control outcomes, but the waves of existence will always move as they please. The moment we accept this, anxiety loses its grip. Instead of asking, "How can I control life?" ask, "How can I flow with life?" The answer will set you free. Chapter 5. Letting Go, the One Thought That Destroys Anxiety. Now we come to the ultimate truth. The one thought that destroys anxiety is simple. I do not have to control everything. When you deeply accept this, anxiety starts to fade. No longer do you have to carry the burden of the future. No longer do you have to resist change. The Buddha once told his followers, "A person who clings to life is like a man hanging from a burning tree branch, afraid to let go. But when he releases, he finds the ground was just inches below." Anxiety is the burning branch. We hold on because we fear the unknown. But the moment we let go, we realize we were safe all along. The next time you feel anxious, pause and ask yourself, what am I trying to control? Can I allow things to unfold naturally? What happens if I let go? With each breath, remind yourself, I do not have to control everything. The moment you surrender, peace takes its place. Chapter 6. The Present Moment, the Only Reality. Anxiety is born from the mind's tendency to wander, either dwelling in the past or worrying about the future. But the truth is, the past is gone and the future is not yet here. The only reality that truly exists is now. The Buddha once said, "Do not dwell in the past, do not dream of the future, concentrate the mind on the present moment." Imagine holding a glass of water. If you hold it for a few seconds, it feels light. But if you hold it for hours, it becomes unbearable. The weight hasn't changed, but your struggle against it has made it heavy. This is what happens when we cling to our worries. Anxiety cannot survive in the present moment. Right now, at this exact second, you are safe. Your fears exist only in your thoughts. If you fully engage with this moment, anxiety has nowhere to hide. A simple practice: when you feel anxious, pause, take a deep breath, feel the air enter your body. Listen to the sounds around you. Focus on what your senses are experiencing right now. The more you anchor yourself in the present, the more anxiety fades. Chapter 7. Mindfulness, Observing Without Judgment. Buddhist teachings, sati or mindfulness, is one of the most powerful tools to transform anxiety. Mindfulness means watching your thoughts instead of becoming them. A Zen master once said, "You cannot stop the waves, but you can learn to surf." This is mindfulness in action. You cannot stop anxious thoughts from arising, but you can choose not to get swept away. Try this. The next time you feel anxious, instead of reacting, simply observe. Notice the sensation in your body. Is your heart beating faster? Is your breathing shallow? Instead of resisting, just watch. Anxiety loses its power when you stop fighting it. The moment you say, "Ah, here is anxiety again," and watch it with curiosity rather than fear, its grip weakens. A monk once told his disciple, "A fire needs fuel to keep burning. If you stop feeding it, it fades away." Anxiety is the same. When you stop resisting and simply observe, it loses its intensity. Chapter 8, The Power of Acceptance. Stop fighting reality. One of the biggest causes of anxiety is our resistance to reality. We want things to be different. We want certainty, but life is unpredictable. The more we resist this truth, the more we suffer. The Buddha taught the art of equanimity, accepting life as it is, not as we wish it to be. This does not mean passivity. It means inner peace in the face of uncertainty. A famous Zen story tells of a farmer whose horse ran away. His neighbors said, "What bad luck?" The farmer simply replied, "Maybe." A few days later, the horse returned with a group of wild horses. The neighbors said, "What good luck?" Again, the farmer replied, "Maybe." Later, his son tried to ride one of the wild horses and broke his leg. The neighbors said, "What terrible luck?" The farmer remained calm and said, "Maybe." Soon after, a war broke out, and all the young men were sent to fight, except the farmer's son, who was spared because of his broken leg. This story teaches us a valuable lesson. We don't always know what is good or bad in the long run. Life unfolds as it must. Instead of fighting reality, embrace it with an open heart. Chapter 9. Self-compassion. You are not your anxiety. One of the biggest mistakes we make is identifying with anxiety. We say, "I am anxious," instead of saying, "I am experiencing anxiety." These may sound similar, but they have a crucial difference. When you say, "I am anxious," you make it your identity. But when you say, "I am experiencing anxiety," you create distance. You recognize that anxiety is just a passing state, not who you are. Imagine your mind as the sky. Thoughts and emotions are like passing clouds. Sometimes there are storms, but the sky itself is never disturbed. You are the sky. Your anxiety is just a cloud. It will pass. Buddhist wisdom teaches self-compassion. Instead of criticizing yourself for feeling anxious, treat yourself as you would a dear friend. Say to yourself, "It's okay. This is just a feeling. It will pass." A Tibetan monk once said, "If your friend was in pain, would you yell at them? No, you would comfort them. So why do you yell at yourself? Be kind to yourself. You are not your anxiety. You are something far greater. Chapter 10. Gratitude. Shifting your focus from fear to peace. A simple but powerful practice to dissolve anxiety is gratitude. Anxiety focuses on what is wrong or what might go wrong. Gratitude shifts your mind to what is already good. Try this. Every day before you sleep, list 3 things you are grateful for. They can be small: a warm cup of tea, a kind word from a friend, the sound of birds outside your window. A monk once said, "A single candle can light up a dark room." Gratitude is that candle. When you shift your focus to what is already good, fear fades. Scientific studies confirm what Buddhism has taught for centuries. Practicing gratitude reduces anxiety and increases happiness. Why? Because it trains the mind to see the good instead of dwelling on fear. Whenever anxiety arises, pause and ask, what is something I can be grateful for in this moment? Even in difficult times, there is always something. The more you practice, the more anxiety loses its grip. Chapter 11. The impermanence of all things, nothing lasts forever. One of the most profound Buddhist teachings is anicca, or impermanence. Everything in life is constantly changing, our thoughts, emotions, experiences, and even our struggles. Anxiety often comes from the fear that our pain or problems will last forever. But in reality, nothing lasts forever. Not joy, not sorrow, not even anxiety. A monk once asked his master, "Why do I suffer?" The master handed him a cup of tea and said, "Drink this." The monk drank it. Then the master took the empty cup and smashed it on the floor. The monk was startled. "Why did you do that?" he asked. The master smiled and said, "Everything in life is like this cup. One day it will be gone, so why be attached?" This story teaches us that all things, good and bad, will pass. When you feel anxious, remind yourself this moment is temporary. This feeling is temporary. Just as the storm passes, so will this. The next time anxiety arises, instead of fearing it, say to yourself, "This too shall pass." The more you embrace impermanence, the less hold anxiety has over you. Chapter 12. The thought that destroys anxiety, I am not my thoughts. Now we come to the one thought that can destroy anxiety at its root. I am not my thoughts. Buddhism teaches that the mind produces thoughts just as the heart beats or the lungs breathe. But you are not your thoughts. Just because a thought appears doesn't mean it is true. Imagine you are sitting by a river. Leaves float past on the water. These leaves are your thoughts. You do not need to hold on to them or follow them downstream. You can simply watch them pass. When an anxious thought arises, don't react. Instead say, here is an anxious thought. Recognize it as just a thought, not reality. A Zen master once said, "Your mind is like the sky. Thoughts are just passing clouds. Do not chase the clouds, simply observe them." The moment you detach from your thoughts and see them as passing clouds, anxiety begins to lose its power. Chapter 13. The practice of letting go, releasing control. Anxiety thrives on the illusion of control. We try to predict the future, prevent every possible problem, and hold onto things we cannot change. But Buddhism teaches that peace comes not from control, but from letting go. A monk once said, "Holding onto worry is like holding onto a burning coal. The tighter you grip it, the more it burns. The moment you let go, relief comes instantly." Letting go does not mean giving up. It means releasing the attachment to outcomes. It means understanding that you can only control your actions, not the results. A practical exercise. The next time you feel anxious, ask yourself, "Heavy, can I control this situation? Heavy, if yes, what action can I take? Heavy, if no, can I let go and trust that things will unfold as they must?" When you learn to release control, anxiety naturally fades. Chapter 14. The power of meditation, calming the storm within. One of the most effective ways to reduce anxiety is meditation. Meditation trains the mind to be still, to observe thoughts without reacting to them. The Buddha once said, Meditation brings wisdom. Lack of meditation leaves ignorance. Try this simple meditation. 1. Find a quiet place and sit comfortably. 2. Close your eyes and focus on your breath. 3. If a thought arises, acknowledge it and let it pass like a cloud. 4. Keep returning to your breath. Just 10 minutes a day can rewire your brain to be calmer and less reactive. Over time, you will find that anxiety no longer controls you. You control it. Chapter 15. True Freedom, Living with an Unshakable Mind. The ultimate goal of Buddhist wisdom is not to escape anxiety, but to cultivate an unshakable mind. A great Buddhist master was once insulted by a man, but instead of reacting, he smiled and asked, "If someone offers you a gift, but you do not accept it, to whom does the gift belong?" The man was confused. The master continued, "If I do not accept your insult, it remains with you." This is the key to inner peace. When anxiety, fear, or negativity come knocking, you do not have to accept them. You can choose to remain still, like a deep ocean that is calm beneath the surface, no matter how strong the waves above. When you understand that you are not your thoughts, you are not your fears, and nothing is permanent, you will discover a peace that no external force can shake. This is the true path to freedom. Anxiety is not your enemy. It is simply a passing cloud in the vast sky of your mind. The moment you realize you are not your thoughts, fear loses its power. By embracing impermanence, letting go of control, and living with awareness, you can cultivate a mind that remains calm no matter the storm. True peace is not found outside, but within. If this wisdom resonated with you, hit the like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more transformative insights. Let's walk this path of wisdom together.